Transformers: Dark of the Moon universally negative ratings are mixed if you count that review down there. Directed by Michael Bay. I watched it on Prime with Dylan and Ginger. Shia LaBeouf, Patrick Dempsey, John Malkovich, John Turturro, Josh Duhamel, Leonard Nimoy, Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, Alan Tudyk, Tyrese Gibson, Ken Jeong, Francis McDormand, John DiMaggio, Tom Kenny, Hugo Weaving, James Raymar, Monica Garrett, Glenn Morsar, James Avery, apparently. I'm surprised that they can keep like most of the cast from the first film, and then put them in the second film, add more characters, and then for the third film, take all of those, put them in the third film, and add even more fucking characters. It's crazy. I'd say this is the second best, although there were some things that had to get spoiled for me. Like there was that meme where it's like my Chinese TV when I criticize the Chinese government, and it's that scene where the monitor starts to attack Ken Jeong's character. And the funniest scene I got spoiled for me because people are saying like it's Oscar level acting. The scene where Sam is like, "Don't touch my car," it's a collector's item. Don't know what said this, but overall I would say it's the second best. I still think one is better. I was kind of excited for this one solely because of the fact that Paramore had made a song for it, which, if you haven't listened to it, it's called Monster. It's fucking amazing. It doesn't actually appear in the film. Like, I said to Dylan before we started, I have a feeling that's going to be a credit song. He's like, no, it's not a credit song because, like, in Park is in the credits. And then, I got to the end and actually skipped forward a bit for the credits, and there it was. So, I mean, it being a credit song would have been insulting enough, but they put it as, like, a second credits song. And it's just, it really pissed me off because something similar happened with Suicide Squad 2016 and 21 Pilots, which I won't get into because this isn't a Suicide Squad 2016 review, but you know what? It always happens to the ones I like. I'm not the biggest fan of the girl that they got to replace Michaela. I think her name's Carly. She just didn't really have much of a personality. I mean, Michaela didn't really until the second film, but I mean, at least there was something there. Carly is just kind of like English, and that's it. I find it weird that Optimus Prime kills. Like, I know there are other heroes that do kill, but it's, for some reason, Optimus Prime in particular, I find it weird when he kills. Because he could just like, I mean, I don't know how it would work, but he could just arrest Sentinel and Megatron and all the Decepticons and all that, but he doesn't. He just outright executes them. Which, I'm not saying he's a villain or anything like that, it's just there is a better way. Or maybe there isn't, I'm not an expert on Transformers lore. Sonic the Hedgehog. Mixed ratings. I watched it on Paramount. Jim Carrey, Ben Schwartz, James Marsden, Neil McDonough, excuse that PlayStation notification. Keanu Reeves isn't in the third one. Shemar Moore is only in the second one. Leslie Nielsen is dead. Like, he died in 2010. He does not appear in this film. This is my first time watching, like, a proper Jim Carrey movie. Like I've seen the Truman Show and I've seen Kick Ass too, and that was about it. But he doesn't really act like Jim Carrey because of how those films work. And I thought I'm not gonna like Jim Carrey because it's just gonna be him overreacting to everything, which that's the reason why I didn't like a show like Psych, where it's just overreactions to everything. But he actually was hilarious in this. Um, like it's been a while since I've seen this. I don't remember when it was, but I think it might have been like the 9th of October because I'm pretty sure Sonic 2 was leaving the time, so we had to watch the first two back to back. Um, I lost track of where I was going with this. Yeah, that's everything I'd say about Jim Carrey. Ben Schwartz, I think, does a good job as the voice of Sonic. And while I was watching that, I was thinking, yeah, finally Ben Schwartz is in something that I like. But then I forgot. I was introduced to Ben Schwartz through DuckTales and House of Lies. But I stopped watching DuckTales years ago. I gave up on it because I thought that just there was a problem with the episodes releasing. It wasn't a bad show at all. So I really need to get back and finish it. And House of Lies I finished that like 3 years ago. But and then I'd watched his more recent things, which it sort of gave me a false perception of him. I think I'd seen Space Force and something else, and I mean Space Force was funny at times, but it's not funny enough to justify actually sitting down and watching the whole thing, despite how short it is. So I'm glad that he's getting back to doing good things. Now that I think about it, the people writing Transformers can actually probably take a lesson from this because the first film at least, the human story like Sam and all that is boring, but there's never a dull moment in this, even if it's a human only scene. I get it's a little different because with Transformers, there's a shit ton of them, whereas in Sonic, there's just Sonic in the first one. So obviously, there's not going to be any scenes. You know what I mean. I think I'll pause, I guess. I should probably save this for the Sonic 2 review, but the fact that Sonic flossed, I think, a couple times in this, and then they had Eggman do it in the second film. This film came out in 2020. The floss was something that happened at a Katy Perry concert in 2017 or 2018. She invited a kid to come dance on stage while she sang that song Swish Swish. Like, not a big fan of Katy Perry, but I think that song in particular is one of her worst songs, maybe her worst. And I mean, I'm getting sidetracked here. Like, I do want to explain the problem of all this in full detail, but I'll just have to give the TLDR. Basically, you're doing a 2018 thing in 2020 because Hollywood. That's probably all I have to say. Actually, I don't think I ever actually said, like, overall, do I like it or not? It was great. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 mixed ratings. I watched it on Paramount. Or I watched it on Netflix, actually. Jim Carrey, Ben Schwartz, James Marsden, Shamar Moore, Idris Elba. I don't think Neil McDonough is in it. Um, Before I went into it, Dylan said that he thought this was better than Sonic 1. I don't know if I agree. Um, that I just had this random, like, thought my life. Oh, maybe I already made this video. I haven't. Jim Carrey, once again, great. Ben Schwartz, once again, great. Idris Elba. I get why they changed, like, his voice. But it's, at the same time, it still is. I need to get used to it, because I'm not much of a Sonic fan, but you know, I do know the voice of Knuckles is, as he says in the Sonic Boom show, a meathead, whereas in this he's a sort of tribesman. Tails, I don't know the name of who voices Tails. I do not notice that Jason Momoa was in the credits there. He doesn't appear in the film. Yeah, Colleen O'Shaughnessy's. She was great as well. Very weird seeing Shamar Moore in this, but I mean, I was like, oh, I hate this subplot. I mean, just because Shamar's there, it was great. Especially since I'm like watching Criminal Minds as we watch this. In fact, I think the day we watched these was like the day I got to the episode where he leaves. But anyway, I don't actually have much to say. Because like I feel like it's the same with Venom and Venom 2. You know, everything I have to say, I said in the first review. Especially since I watched these back to back. I hate to do this, but I'm just going to move on because there really is nothing I can think of to say. I played Freddi Fish 5. It was very good. I looked up how long it's supposed to take, and it's like the longest humongous game ever, but they feel quite short. That's all I really have to say about it. Knuckles, mixed ratings, Paramount Original. I watched it on Paramount. So, Idris Elba, Kid Cudi, Cary Elwes, Ben Schwartz, Christopher Lloyd. It's okay. I don't get why they decided to make this. To be honest, I couldn't tell if this was just going to be half an hour of Knuckles fucking about, or there was going to be an actual story to it. There's an actual story to it, and it seems interesting. And I don't think Dylan's going to continue with it because it did take quite a while to get started, but I definitely will because I'm a real fan.